Sithambo elungumfowethu sibulela kakhulu njengoba uMC besechilo izalwa noMzwandile novuyelwa naye ke uMziwamadoda lo osishile sizalwa ngabazali that were very good, loving, they brought us up ngendlela efanele, like any other parent would have loved to bring abantwana bakhe. Without wasting time, thana nje uqonda ngqo thethe ngayo ngalomfo uMziwamadoda, talk about this man olele apha phambi kwethu. Mziwamadoda was a very loving person, a joyful person. Umuntu ebethanda ukuthi enamanqoko, umuntu amanqoko namahlaya. Ithi athi apho ekho bozafumana kuba ungqongwe ngabantu kumandi kuhlekwa. Futhi nje ngumuntu nje othanda nje uthi into ezinhle. Umuntu futhi obeyithanda necawa, ebemthanda uThixo wakhe, ebethanda necawa, nayo le cawa ebeyisebenzele kakhulu. Ngithanda ukuthi ngiyaxaka ukuthi nizawuthini kakhulu ngoba sibhlungu kakhulu silahlekelwe ngumfowethu. In short nje, I would like to say we will always cherish the good memories that we had with him, and zonke ezizinto will still linger on our minds. Thana nje ukuthi we copy some of the good things that is true. Singathandana, sithandane, sixhasane, sixolelane, and make peace with ourselves. Uwe ke Mziwamadoda hlubila ukuthi ngithanda ukuthi lala ngoxolo mthimkhulu, lala ngoxolo inkosi.
Ndibulise kuwo wonke umuntu lapha, and also greet all those that are connecting through this sophisticated media. The last time we stood, Mnanomzwake, we were burying our mother. I think that's the only time that we've ever shared a platform. And today we're also doing the same thing. We can never say enough. Oh, Benedict, Umtonsi, Mtodwana, Dish, what, all the names that he got them because they were appropriate for those occasions. One bishop of Michigan says every one of us writes a story about his life. What you do today is in your story. He has finished his. People will say to you, you will heal, you will forget. But I want to say to you, the pain never goes away, Skelo, you know it. The forgetting doesn't happen. And I think the memories that he has left us with will help us not to forget. We will never forget you, Mtorwana. You will always, always, always be in our hearts. The only thing I can say to you is go well.
Over to the sister. Are you coming, Sister? No. Oh, this is late. Can we render just a short chorus as we welcome Sis Vuyelwa, or Sis Thandi? I don't have that here. So, can we render a short chorus quickly? No more.
Thank you. Before we share my mom's tribute, we just want to share some words to Babes. Malume, Babes, it's Posh Kadol, your Beyonce. Thank you for being our person. I will miss your crazy jokes and laughter that we used to share over WhatsApp and in person. You never missed an opportunity to make us feel loved and supported. You are reunited with our favorite people, and I know even when my time comes that you, Loyi, and Gogo will welcome us with open arms. We have had the best times, and I will treasure those moments forever. I will miss you most as we celebrate. Hello? I will miss you most as we celebrate each milestone. How you would give me one look, smile, and say, my Beyonce, or singing, "Ki ikutlwa ke le bichi." Your passing has left a void in our lives, but God will restore us and we will grow around our grief. Rest in God's eternal peace, Malome Wangwan, Babes Wabantwana.
Sanibonani nonke. Before ngifunda itribute yaka mama, ngifuna ukusho ukuthi malume wami simthanda ngenhliziyo yethu sonke. Sizokukhumbula, sibhlungu enhlizweni zethu. Akusekho ozocula nathi iculo kaGori Murabe. Akusekho ozodla imqolo yaka mama yechicken. Sesele nje siyeda. Sizohlala nje sikuthanda sikhumbule. Itribute from umama Mziwamadoda Zibi. Itim Dagama, I'm sorry that I was not there to be with you when you took your last breath. Gosh, you're so full of surprises. Nyabonga Mdagama, for the love you gave me and everything you did for me. I will forever cherish the moments we spent together. You taught me how to love, even when there was nothing to laugh about. You encouraged me to fight, even when I had no strength. You taught me that the material things do not bring happiness. You always reminded me to travel light, but most importantly, you held my hand and you walked with me through the storms of my life. Thank you for loving my children unconditionally. To Mahlaba and Gugu Setati, Ngedisi and Monde Dube, thank you for giving him his last farewell. Hamba kahle, mafuta wami. Please tell Mama and Papa that I did take care of you. I couldn't take away your pain, but I tried very hard. And yes, you were the best MC in the world. Till we meet again. Skelo ngwana. Wapadanzi Gumba Luke.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to your uncle. Thank you so much, Bramzwa Brandikala, as part of the tributes by the family. Opungano Mtimkulu, please come through.
Ngiyanibingelela egameni lenkosi yethu Jesu Kristu. Oh, you know, uDodo ubethanda ukucula, and he loved, like, angithandela vele ukuthi I love singing. So can I please start by singing his song, the song that I was singing, Ngcwele Ngcwele Somandla. Ubethe gqoka esontweni egqoka isambatho senhliziyo bebethi basuka baya ealtarini bebangene ngayo leyo ngoma ubembona umntana ka malumam ukuthi ugcwele injabulo. So I would start the song bengicela ukuthi sonke sihlabelele manhliziyo ngicela nimhlabeleleni leyo ngoma leyo ngiyanicela nihlabelele kakhulu ngokukhulu ukujabula ngoba namhlanje ilanga lakhe lokugcina angeke sambona. Can I start the song or you'll start it for me? Ngwele ngwele somandla sibabaza wena ngwele ngwele soma o sibabaza wena uyingwele ngwele soma sibabaza wena wabaza wena sibabaza ngwele somandla sibabaza wena oh ngwele somandla sibabaza wena. Ndiyabulela. Oh ngiyabonga. My pillowcase. This name wathi ungixelela ukuba bakubiza pillowcase ayilahlala kimi. Now you are my pillowcase. My pillowcase is gone. I won't see him again. You know what, mina nomzala wami besingalali singakakhulumi on WhatsApp. Athi mzala ngiyazi ukuthi uwo awungakalali and awulali wena uma off. So let's talk and then sicule singene enkonzweni. Ethanda ukungithumelela amaculo, athanda ukungithumelela ama videos wasesontweni. Whoever passed on as our priest, as Catholics, we would share mina naye. Athi manje mntazi sokushone bani la, ubani lo father lo. Ngisho we would share a chair for that priest. We will pray together for that priest, like this recent priest who have passed, Father Tabo. You know, we shared chair with Dodo, like he's our sibling. So I say, Gubo family Zibi, you know, we must keep the spirit, because Ododo, he's the one. Oh, wavusa a family society. What guys? I need us to be together, to stand together. Singalahlani. Ngiyanicela bantwana basekhaya noma ngabe omunye uyawakunyathela amakhonzi, but it's time for you to change. It's time for you to forgive one another, because that's what he wanted. Bekafuna ukuthi kube noxolo. So I would say to each and every one of us right now, sixolele ukuba nixolile. Whoever did this to me, don't go back and start over. What? Wangenza lo. No. Let's just forgive one another. Sibi isikhathi bantwana basekhaya. Sibi siyahamba. Namhlanje ngathemba ukuthi ngizobe ngibeka uDodo mina ngime la ngikhuluma ngoDodo. But here I am ngikhuluma ngoDodo. So I'm so grateful for the moments that we've shared together. Ngithi Bhungane, Mthimkhulu, Khadebe, Nasele, ulifezile uqhaso lwakho. Hamba uyobona omthethuzima, ombuthi, omadingase, abo Jane, abo Maria, abo mama wasethi yanongbe uTimongo Maria, bambizo Maria, marugogo besijwayele ukuthi ugogo mamncane ugogo. So ngithi hamba usikhonzele kubo. Ningasilahli Dodo. nihlale nisibhekile. Izizukulu abantwana bethu, they are so hurting because they say Malum Dodo bekathi we must come and visit him. Now it's gone. Ayisekho leso sikhathi. Borato bonozi xolani asenzakalanga. Mlungisi whatever umalume Dodo bekafisa ukuthi niyenze. Bompo, please get together and do that for his memories. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are really living on borrowed time. We spend so much but so little time with Umadobs. We used to call him Umafuta, big man, big show, the African champion of the sumo wrestlers. Others would say slender summer catalog. But a gentleman indeed, a gentleman and a half. Those who missed sharing life with him have missed a lot. But it shows us ukuthi mudimuri file mututsunyana lesbaga. We must always appreciate. There's a word ga Paul uti I'm not leaving you. When Jesus Christ talked in the book of the Gospels, in the book of Matthew, he says that I'm not leaving you alone, but I'm leaving you with the peace that surpasses all knowledge. So I think the theme today is the peace that Dodo must give us. And that must be translated to generation, Ramzwa, Randile, to generations and generations, because all of us are travelers in this world. I therefore call upon, without much ado, Sister Andy, thank you so much for the beautiful redemption. We therefore call upon the Mngube family, Usisimpumi, Masemula, please come through. Thank you so much. There is a
Sanbonani, Tandugunbulisa, Nani Nonken Semakaya. I'm here representing the Ngubes. This one before us is number 4 of 21. The first of us is 62 years old, which is a real joke. He's old enough to be my dad. And the last one is 31. Uputodo is the first of our cousins to depart. So processing this loss it's been quite a challenge. But he would say usually, meantime, in the background, a tear down his cheek. So I always say to my son, never do a speech or homework without doing research. And I took some research. How do I talk about this MC extraordinaire, larger than life, jolly good fellow? I came up with the words solitude, courage, accepting, and cleanliness. That I think sums him up, because I want to take you to give my cousins comfort and him. There are two kind of homecomings that you think of after death experience being raised in the Ngube family. You'll have my grandfather, Benedict Ngube, who yena noma Zibi will compete ukuthi ubani umkatolika between the two of them. His version was the Catholic version, that you go to a purgatory where you state your sins, you explain, and once you are forgiven, your passage through that life is now open. So he had a funny explanation to us to say, Tina, master purgatory, Tina. The way besimhlupha ngakhona umkhulu wami behlala hluphekile kusho ukuthi you are welcome for 5 minutes, and then over and above that ntasingeni uhamba nini. And that is part of solitude, because that is what Ubudodo would do. He'd enjoy you, but when it was his time and solitude, yazi sekuba late man ningahambe ebusuku. So, and that is a theme that is very consistent within us, though we've never pictured it as or named it as solitude, but that's how we thrive. So umkhulu wami bekathi thina sizohlala epurgatory, and then uSathane ulebumbuza, Sathane kanti mina ngidlula nini? Ale bathi uSathane everlastingly. Everlastingly. But the homecoming I'm picturing for him, which would give us comfort, is typically what we do have at Dube. I see him entering, being welcomed by his father, Umbuti Michael, because I know he longed for that. I see him running to his dad giving me a huge hug. His grandfather, Bati Begamen Jengaye, was a chef cooking up the best meals, and him helping because he really loved his food and he knew how to make it. Then I see my grandfather being a bit uneasy. Ati, Anna, that's when sekayohleba ngathi sekathi uhamba nini. If kune main switch bekazocima main switch ukuthi uhamba nini. I see him with Dominic and Stephen. Sefikile umntakasisi ahleli no Papa D bakhuluma how heaven has everything and he's seen all the corners of heaven. And yeah, that's the comfort that I have in trying to process what his thought process was as he departed and where he is now. I see him very worried. But you will be fine. We'll be fine. He is fine. He was at peace. Any child knows that after generations, like it or not, this is a kulega Mikaela. Sivikele kulweni kwethu sihlangulise kubini nasesithweni sikaSathane siyancenga siguqile uNkulunkulu akamyale wena ke ndunampi yasezulwini ngamandla kaNkulunkulu aphosa iSathane esogweni neminye imoya emibi ezulazule emhlabeni ezulela ukulahlekisa imiphefumulo yethu. Amen. Masingalahleki, we are together the Ncubesi.
Thank you so much once more. The family has devoured almost 30 minutes to themselves. That's a wonderful thing. As long as you're satisfied that today you are bidding farewell to your fellow brother, to the son of the soil. It's so unfortunate that in these trying times we cannot give a fair, befitting farewell to Madobs. We've been divided by the streets. We used to say when the dust hits the shores, Izangapha city ayenko bafuruti. Sime this side, and the bafuruti on that side would say ayenko matebele. So Dodo used to carry that even at this particular stage. When you jump over that side, you go to Ebafuruti. So, but nonetheless, it would be a disservice if I don't quote this. Ukubla Ross was one of the nurses. Umama Dodo, Nesmos, and a high-ranking one for that matter, a globetrotter. Ukubla Ross would say when he defines the 5 stages of death, of which Kubla Ross and Umama Dodo were no Mama we no Bramzwa were colleagues. He was in the psychology hospital in Chicago. He would say, because we're transcending these stages, there's a stage of denial. You denied first when you heard that your brother has passed away. Some of you were angered in some way or the other. That's the second stage. On the third stage, there's some bargaining, where you bargain, but God, why this time? And why you do this time? Why not what? There's those particular stages. But there's also a stage where you feel so depressed about what has happened. There's a 5th stage where you accept everything. And I think now you are at that particular stage. You are at a particular stage, a stage of acceptance. But I will tell you about the 6th stage as we transcend the speakers here. Without much ado, Sisboni, sicela ukuthi uzobaxelela njengomakhelwane kaDodo njengentwana yakho uMadobs, and share ukuthi how did we live no Madobs. uMadobs azange ayivale le gate. Thank you so much.
lenhliziyo inomusa ithobile inomusa inobile. Sanibonani nonke. Bingelela wonke umuntu okhona abaphuma ngaphandle abazosixhasa kulolu sizi esikulo namhlanje. Namhlanje ngicelile ukuthi umzuzu owodwa nje mhlambe ngizokwazi ukukhuluma ngoDodo. Ngilahlekelwe mina, ngilahlekelwe umfowethu umncane uThumbu wakithi. Ngilahlekelwe umntanami. Ngilahlekelwe yonke, ngilahlekelwe imember yeblock yethu ye block 2 yasesontweni. Ngilahlekelwe imember yeblock yestrata. uDodo ushiye imark, ushiye kuwo wonke umuntu imark, kumntwana omncane, kugogo, kumuntu omusha, komama. uDodo kade nothando, uDodo kade hlala ehleka ngaso sonke isikhathi. uDodo kade ethi mayebona ukuthi hayi man, ungathi khona ungahambi kahle uzofika athi sisiboni, athi uyabona kodwa ukuthi kwenzakalani, athi thina la senzani la main road, what are we doing, sinani, abanye abantu benza izinto ezinhle emasayidini thina. Ngithi mina silindeni, nibheke thina azalikwazi ukuthi sinenzele. EDodo sukumani nansi, usukumile uDodo, usukumile walifeza ufiso lakhe, wayivula iblock, wayivula isociety block yase main road, nathi sifana nabanye abantu. uDodo ukuthi bakungena isikhathi seCovid kunzima, uDodo ehlele ekhaya, uDodo engasebenzi engenzi niksi, sisonke singazuko kwenzani, uDodo uzofika athi yebonza ngithi athi abefundisi balambile, athi manje uthina abafundisi abadlili balambile, asikhipheni phela imali okuncane nje, ikhwaya ngitshelile ukuthi ilethe. And then amanye imkhahlo ngithi Dodo awazi eminye imkhahlo, athi wena wenzani, ngikhuluma nawe ngoba wena usukhiphile imali yeblock. uDodo kade eququzelelana evuselelana kuko konke, noma ungathi uyayibalekela, athi uphuma emholweni obagogo baholile, athi khipha i100 ihambe esontweni, ufather kana kuhle. Sengisho ukuthi uDodo kade yazi kade ngithi noma ngingazi ukuthi fanele ngenzeni, uzofika uDodo athi angifune long faces. I-long faces yani ufuna ukuyapi, ngene emotweni sami, ufuna angazi ukuthi ngizothuma abantu. Kati ngingambiza uDodo, kati ngimbiza mfana ngoba uSiphiwe sekhanga ngimbiza mfana. Uhambile manje futhi umfana wami, angisenayo umoya, angazi ngizokwenza njani. Ngithi duduzekani Mziwamadoda Zibi, anilahlekelanga ninoda, silahlekele sonke, silahlekele ngoDodo. Abantwana bami bakhala umlomo abawuvali, inyembezi zihlala zigelezile njalo ngoDodo ngemisebenzi yakhe emihle. Ngithi dudukezelani St Angelas choir, siyazibuza ukuthi enamayiphela le Covid, ama-choir masters wethu siwathathaphi ngoba wonke ahambile, asena choir master ukuthi manje kuzokwenziwa njani. So siyacela nje, sicela imithandazo, sicela sicine. Ngiyabonga dudukezani ngiseDobsonville, angizukuba mude nami ngoba isikhathi sesihambile.
Thank you, Sisbo. Thank you, Sisbo. Mina ngithi uMasibizi bese silwela lokho. Thank you so much. Sisbo is telling the truth. This month, Dodo was agitated by a very troublesome spirit. A spirit that says, let's put things in order. Let's come together. Let's be one. And I think it's the very same spirit that reverberates into the annals of the Zibi family. The spirit of togetherness. Dodo wanted us to be together as a block. He wanted us to do things. He didn't want us to bury each other. He didn't want us ukuthi sihlangane for ukuthi singcwabane, because most societies zabantu abamnyama, they come together for burials. They want to have decent funerals. Dodo didn't want that. Dodo wanted us to come together, open up a bank account, help those that are destitute and are in need. He wanted us to grow so that we develop the young people so that they don't become job seekers, but they become job creators. He wanted us, Udodo, to have this fund, so that this fund, when there's a young man who have to go to university, to college, we should be able to assist where it's necessary. He wanted that kind of a spirit. That's a spirit that agitated Udodo. Charles Spurgeon, the grace of God is painted in the canvas of despair. And his spirit now, Udodo, is painted in that canvas of troubleness. In the canvas, the society must come together. And I think that is what we should remember Dodo for. Dodo wanted us to be one. He wanted us to come together. With much ado, I would have summarized whatever that Usisbo have said, but we miss so much. Ngododo, a self-appointed chairperson of the block, somebody who never took a no for an answer, who said, forward we shall march. However, the spear has fallen. We need to pick it up. Tribute by Sizanani Imperial Club, Obra Simon Sibaeko. Please come forward. Besicela simbambe njenge chorus ngesipiti.
Sanibona nonke Mziwamadoda umndeni wakwaZibi nabo bonke. Uthiwe yimi ozokhuluma, angeke ngikhona ukukhuluma. Ngiyaxolisa umndeni wakwaZibi. Ngicela nabo abafowethu kodwa kuzokhuluma uThemba ngoba angilunganga emoyeni. Ngiyaxolisa kakhulu umndeni wakwaZibi. Ngicela ningixolele.
Nginibingelele nami egameni lenkosi yethu Jesu Kristu. Amen. Ngibonge mphathi yomhlelo isithuba osinika lona ukuze ngingakudlela isikhathi ngoba ngiwabekile nje amazwi engifuna ukuwabeka la ngizoshesha nje ngigijime phezulu kwawo. Ngizobingelela umndeni wakaZibi, ngibingelele abafundisi, izihlobo nabangani nabomakhelwane, ngibingelele nabafowethu laba engihamba nabo. I sadly stand before you today representing Isizanani Burial Society, to which Udot or Uzibi besimbiza kanjalo masithanda was a member. Udot wajoina le society ngo-2018, but ngendlela anobuntu ngayo wafika nje wafita kahle ku society as if kudala a member yethu. Sisizanani silahlekele kakhulu. Silahlekelwe imember futhi silahlekelwe umngani. This gentle giant lying here was umuntu wabantu, a free-spirited soul full of love and happiness. The only time I saw Dot angry, he was joking, pretending to be angry. And even then, he was not convincing. I think he was just not capable of being angry or hateful for that matter. I am sure that we all have our personal and special memories of the impact this giant left in our lives. It is therefore very hard for me today to be up here trying to focus on the happy times God brought us and not to focus on the fact that he is no longer going to be with us anymore. Uzibi ushiya nje, only last week we were laying another member to rest at Fosloras. Umfoka Mzobe, may his soul rest in peace. Singaka Policy Namasego, we are again here paying our last respect to yet another member. We can only pray for the safe passage for Dot and the others who have left us, because all this is God's will. Although Uzibi has been with us for only 2.5 years or so, the society sayiqala ngo-December 2001, okusho ukuthi ngo-December walonyaka sizobe siqeda 20 years ikhona. Lapho ke sisathi silungisela uku-celebrate 20 years anniversary, sesihlukunyezwa yikho lokhu kokuhamba kwama-member ngokulandelana. Ngokuhamba kwaZibi, inamba yama-member asesishile isingu-10, yilokhu saqala isosaya. Sengithi-ke to my fellow members of the society, let us celebrate Dot's life and remember the good times we spent with him. Let us say our farewell, but never to forget him. Uzibi was more than just a member of the society. He was a friend and a brother to us all. And in that spirit, we should keep the brotherhood going strong in his honor and the honor of all the other members who have passed on. To umndeni kaZibi sithi anilahlekelwanga nodwa, sonke silahlekele. Sithi lalani ngenqweba, uphumlile uZibi ezinhlungwini bezimphethe. Deteleni ahambe eyakhe indima yalapha emhlabeni useyifezile. Dots and dots, my brother. Lala ngoxolo mfethu. Sikhonzele kuma-member nakuzo zonke izihlobo nabangani asebasishiya. May God be with you, size sibonane futhi. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you once more to the society. Isizanani. Thank you so much, Bratemba. Thank you for the bravery that you have shown. You could not have said it much more better than the way you said. Charles Dickens, in one of his books, he says, in The Tale of Two Cities, he says, this is a moment of despair, but there's a moment of hope. It's a season of winter, but it's also a season of summer. It's a season of incredulity, but it's also a season of belief. We've got that belief that in the middle of winter, the spring is coming. And after spring, summer is coming. Even if we shed a tear, but in the morning we shall smile. By so saying, Bantagwetu, I call upon Ubramandla as a friend. There's a say, Eti, when days attack, friends are few. We've stayed nododo in those times. We've stayed nododo epuma extension ezala, esugala eale ezala. A very difficult moment. When some of the people were going away, some of the people were coming. But this is one person who would say, always remain hopeful and be strong. Bramandla, I hope you'll be reflecting that.
Sanbonani. Angazi umfowethu ukuthi ngikhulume ngithini ngaye, because ukuhlangana kwami noDodo dala ngiba nabangani, but ngithe mangihlangana naye ngabona ukuthi yazi ukuba nomngani akusinto easy. Khona abangani esihlangana nabo, but ubone ukuthi uthando alukho, but khona abangane sihlangana nabo ubona uthando. Le ndoda lena ingibonisa uthando. Ngithe ngifika la ngila next door, wang encourage, uye kuphela umuntu wang encourage ukuthi buy this house. Uyabona? Action ngakhe kanjalo sabatluza kangangokuba zinengi izinto esizenzile naye, futhi zinengi izinto ebesisaziplana naye ukuthi sizozenza. So ngithi njengoba lelelana umfethu ngiyabonga ukuthi ungithande, because bafew abantu abakutshelayo. Udodo bekangitshela athi mfethu, the way ngokuthanda ngakhona, the way ungenzela izinto ezinhle ngakhona. Bakhona abangani umenzele nje kufana nomuntu noma umuphi imali ubone ukuthi aka appreciate. Udodo bengize ngithi hayi man mfethu man, le mali nami akuseyami, le mali belonga kuNkulunkulu. You understand? So masinayo kufuze sijabule, because na manginawe siyajabula. Sike saphuma nomngani wami saya eRustenburg, sahlala siyi2 kwaze kwashaya u3 ekseni. Silibele nje axoxa uDodo, mina vele ngithanda ukuthi angifikele ngalelo la ngobuthonga zange bufike. Sahlala kwaba mnandi, wathi uyawazi ukuswima? Ngathi hayi mina ngeke umhlule. Wathi hayi yabona namhlanje ngifuna ukukubonisa ukuthi mina kwaze kwahleka belungu lapha. Wangena uDodo wathi emanzini washamanzi athela wathi yabo. So yiko ngithi mfowethu, ayi ngizokumisa kakhulu ngoba namanje bengazi ukuthi makhona wena la iso lakho alibhekanga la ekhaya kuphela nangale nengadi manje ngayibona le ngadi uye umsebenzi yakhe ukusuka la kuya ngale. Athi mfowethu nawo amablomu, faka amablomu kube kuhle. Uboni
Secretariat Solidarity, Samuel Maimane. I think Siskele, I did well with time. I give myself a pat on the shoulder, even though Aba Chonchi Lebazo appear with Zondo Commission for Choncha some minutes extra. But nonetheless, Zobiza a tribute by the Secretariat. As they are preparing themselves to come forward, let's render an item. Sikule nje noba ikhora sencane.